name is Kai Grant, and we are in Club Alive, which is the name of my artist residency here at ily2 2 Gallery inside of LLOYD Center Mall. For the past year and a half, I've been producing this multidisciplinary performance party that I call Club Alive. After the very first Club Alive party that I threw, someone messaged me and was like, Club Alive the party made me wonder about what it would be like if Club Alive was also a place, like an actual club. And ever since then, I've had this dream of making Club Alive into an actual clubhouse. So when I got this residency, I decided Club Alive is a party, but it is also a place.
It's all about!
Is the People's History Museum of LLOYD Center Mall, which is one of my proudest accomplishments yet. So this is a crowdsourced exhibition of artifacts, memorabilia, collections, and fan art about LLOYD Center Mall, which has been a mall since 1960, and when it opened, it was the largest mall in the whole country. I'm really drawn to landmarks and tourist destinations and sites of spectacle. That started with Times Square, traveled to Las Vegas, and then I got to Portland and I found this mall. When I stepped inside, I thought, this is the Times Square of Portland. And I know that sounds outlandish, but even if it isn't necessarily right now, it has the potential to be. Yeah, for Department of Public Dance, I'd show up with a tiny Bluetooth speaker and a 1 hour long playlist and a sign. The real boons were moments when people who had no idea who we are were just at the mall, would happen upon us and then jump in and start dancing. But that was specifically my goal, was for people who are here for normal mall reasons to break from the ordinary. One thing that I am really interested in is transparency in performance settings, because so much of the more traditional and institutional versions of the performing arts has this, literal curtain that's shielding us all from what's going on behind the scenes. And it creates this illusion and like an unrealistic kind of like fantasy-driven notion of like how anything is made. And I feel like it also obscures the labor that goes into putting anything on. The interview portion was designed to create that kind of transparency.
How are you feeling after your show, your performance?
Sticky!
It's sticky.
I want to talk to people about their process and like what their art practice looks like, and even ask like, did you feel good about that? What was going on in your mind while that was happening? Because it's usually so different from what anyone would have anticipated watching from outside of that person's body.
How are you feeling after that?
Fine, yeah, fine.
I recognize it's hard to talk directly after being in a performance in that kind of headspace. But I do have some questions.
Yeah, I mean, I think the shift from a performance right into an interview is always jarring. It's jarring for the artist, it's jarring for the audience. It's not as jarring for me because I'm prepared for it.
Yeah, it's like a brain massage. Wow, okay, so what's in here, Hannah?
I think in a way it's kind of a mischievous act on my end as well, because I know from personal experience that like alchemical charge that happens when you are performing, and it is very ephemeral, intangible, fleeting, and it's total magic. But then it's over.
I was wondering, how do you know how to do what you do?
Natural born instinct.
And I wanted to kind of like be there with the artist as that bubble gets popped, and kind of show everyone else too, like what that might look like. It's not going to be clean and tidy. It's not going to be as poetic as their performance probably was, but it's this like dose of reality landing back in the room after taking flight.
Now you try.
I have this background in performance. While I still maintain that practice, as I've expanded my art practice into making social practice work, I transitioned my like primary role of performer into that of a host. So in this kind of like new rendition or chapter of my practice that's more informed by social practice work, I'm trying to like use like the power of collective attention for like a larger shared good that doesn't just lift up one single performer, but helps acknowledge everyone in the room and create a sense of presence. And I feel like that kind of like collective organizing and building skills to be able to connect with one another face to face can have, they're basically survival skills. And so that's really what I'm more interested in doing now. These like civic projects that are really just addressing basic safety issues, like we need a crosswalk painted at this dangerous intersection in my old neighborhood in Queens. How can I use the skills that I have as a performer, like focusing people's attention onto a specific subject? How can I redirect that attention from what was previously maybe me to this intersection? So I feel like my practice has now become like using the skill of getting people's attention to then like take a look at something together that I think needs it. I run this newspaper that's a free community paper about LLOYD Center Mall and all the stuff that happens here. We just published issue 2. My dream is that the city would buy this place from the Realty Group and turn it into like a formal public third space with subsidized rent so that all of the current tenants could maintain their spaces in the mall. And then the 40% of vacant spaces that are currently here would be filled with other local community initiatives and independent business startups.